Hedy Lamarr, Dr. Marion Croak, Dr. Tsu-Jae King Liu. Their breakthroughs didn't just change engineering, they changed the world. And we're here to celebrate them for International Women in Engineering Day. Hello, Circuiteers. June 23rd is International Women in Engineering Day, a chance to celebrate women engineers and spark inspiration for the next generation. This year's theme is Together We Engineer because collaboration builds the future. But before we take a look ahead, let's take a look back. Before Bluetooth, before GPS, there was Hedy Lamarr. Hollywood called her the most beautiful woman in the world. In fact, Lamarr, an actress, was the inspiration for the original look of Catwoman in the comic book series. Lamarr also inspired Disney's design for Snow White. But behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, Lamarr was more than an actress. She was an engineering superhero. It was World War II. Allied torpedoes were failing due to German U-boats jamming their signals. Soldiers were dying left and right. In a quiet corner of Hollywood, Lamarr and composer George Antheil sat down to solve the problem of the failing torpedoes. Lamarr's solution? Frequency hopping, a radical idea at the time designed to make radio signals jump between frequencies, making it nearly impossible to jam. Inspired by Antheil's experiment with synchronized player pianos and Lamarr's first-hand knowledge of wartime munitions, the two created a frequency-hopping device small enough to fit inside a torpedo guidance system. They secured a U.S. patent number in 1942, but the Navy passed on it. Lamarr was told she'd be more useful selling war bonds with her face than building engineering systems with her brain. It wasn't until decades later, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, that the military quietly began using the technology. And today, Lamarr's idea is the backbone of Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS, and secure military connections around the world. There was a time when texting couldn't save lives. There was also a time when voices could not connect across seas. Those times were all before an incredibly gifted engineer graced us with her genius. American Idol's AT&T text-to-vote mechanism inspired Dr. Marion Croak to create Text to Donate.
American Idol was so popular, and so there was technology invented to have people be able to just use text messaging and, provide their vote. So I was very involved in that because my job was to make sure the network didn't go down. And I was watching Hurricane Katrina, just feeling like the need to be able to help people and to do it quickly. And so I thought at the time, well, if we can do text to vote, we can also do text to donate. And so that's how that came about.
This innovative platform helped to raise $130,000 in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Following Haiti's 2010 earthquake, Text to Donate helped to raise over $43 million in relief donations.
Over time, you can change the world by using your engineering skills to create different inventions and technologies that can really impact people's lives.
But it was during the 80s, while Croak was employed at AT&T Bell Laboratories, that she began working on the technology that would become Voice over Internet Protocol, or VoIP. That's your voice turned into data flying across oceans, connecting continents with one another. Croak has been awarded over 200 patents, many of which have laid the foundation for the digital communication technology that we use today. And several years after Croak moved to Google as their VP of Engineering, she was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame.
I have never done anything on my own, and I've always worked with teams. In order to really create something, it's just embedded within engineering.
Dr. Marion Croak, an engineer and inventor of text-to-donate technology and VoIP. So what happens when the technology we depend on starts to fall behind?
Hello, I'm Tsu-Jae King Liu.
This may sound like a workout class or a weight loss pill, but it's actually a breakthrough that made modern technology possible. FinFET, co-invented by electrical engineer Dr. Tsu-Jae King Lee. It's a revolutionary transistor. And listen up, circuiteers. As you can imagine, this type of engineering genius just doesn't happen overnight. While Liu was a teenager in the San Francisco Bay Area, her passion for engineering drove her to excel. After receiving 3 degrees from Stanford University, working at Xerox PARC, and joining the UC Berkeley faculty in 1996, Liu and electrical engineer Chen Ming-hu co-invented FinFET. FinFET's also known as fin field effect transistors. They're a type of 3-dimensional transistor with a fin-like structure that allows for a high density of transistors on a chip. That's right, FinFET flipped chip design on its head, making it faster, smaller, and more efficient. Your phone, your laptop, your car, that's all FinFET. And in the year 2000, Dr. Tsu-Jae King Lee was awarded the DARPA Significant Technology Achievement Award for her work on the development of FinFET. And Liu's achievements didn't stop there. After holding 100 patents and co-authoring over 500 research papers, Liu's leadership spanning academia, industry, and national science policy has culminated into her new role as president of the National Academy of Engineering. Their legacies are inspirational examples for anyone who ever dreamed a dream. You too can be a super engineer. The first step, engineering yourself. So for this International Women in Engineering Day, we celebrate these super engineers. If you enjoyed this week's episode of The Circuit, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more incredible engineering news.